Well met. Hey, what's going on? It's Tech Maki, and this is another episode of Lapis Times. So, we are about halfway into the FF6 event right now, and things are looking kind of grim when it comes to picking up Pure Crystal and a couple other pieces, considering the prices and the drop rates. But week 2 is about to start, so we did get our information from the app today, and it looks like we are getting our final confrontation with the clown, the psycho clown, the clown mage, whatever you want to call him. Kefka is finally here, and we do get some awesome rewards, as the little banner there says. But first off, let's continue on and moving, and we'll get into some stuff here. The event period has not changed, but we are starting the clown part of the or the second week, 27th. So after maintenance, good times. So yeah, we're gonna get this. It goes until the 5th, and these are some of the flavor text they put for the battle, which I did indeed. I actually checked out I checked out one of the videos, a couple videos on YouTube to see how the fight actually went, so I can give you a little bit of information, give you my tactics as how I would run this thing. But either way, it says attacking him in his normal state yields little effect, so it is best to attack him when his status is changed and isn't paying attention. So I'm assuming they will probably throw up some type of message on top of the screen to let us know, that he's not in it to win it right now. And then of course he does use various forms of black magic, which I did notice watching a couple of videos. It seems like he focused primarily in the videos I've seen with Firega and Ultima. So mitigation on those two things are going to be very important. I would definitely look at starting to run Minfilia or Mary, especially for this event. Get them geared up, get them ready. You could even think about running it twice. I've seen a couple of builds like that, or a couple parties set up like that for some videos. And then of course, you want to have your tank set up, and depending on how high of your HP or how high your tank's HP is, it might be beneficial to use Y'shtola, or you can still stick with the dual casting Refia. That's more than fine, but she with Benediction, she will be very useful. But sadly, our tank, with the tank that I would love to use for this fight, Warrior Light, has not obtained a 6-star yet, so we don't get that group block AoE and goodness like that. So it is what it is. But either way, this is also an app time that you can start working on your chaining. If you have multiple seters and you're cool with using multiple seters, you go right ahead and start chaining with those guys. I won't, according to my own stream rules. So, but you can definitely do that. Setter will be very useful here. And I bring whatever damage leader you think would be apt for it. Either way, this is going to be a very, very fun fight, I think. Plus, it's Kefka. Who doesn't enjoy whooping on that clown a little bit? Hopefully, we'll get another version of him later on down the road. But either way, moving on to the event rewards. If you complete it, you're going to get a 5-star or a 4-star trust mogul. That is 5% trust mogul, which is kind of cool because recently they have been switching the events or the event I guess purchasable items, where we were able to get a 10% trust mogul and we were able to get 5 1% trust moguls, which to me I feel slightly ripped off by it, because doing the math wise, if you were still getting all the trust moguls, contrary to other math that says you should do trust farming as opposed to just getting those moguls, we're kind of getting cheated on the amount of currency it costs to buy the 5% and the 10% as opposed to 2 10%, which essentially we're paying more for 1%. If it makes sense, you'd have to break the math down, but I did it before, and that is the case. But either way, now we're getting a free one if you can complete the event, so that brings us up to 20%, which I hope they do stuff like this in the future. And then of course we have other event rewards if you can complete specific mission requirements. So moving on, we have the mission accomplishment rewards. That's one of them is use items, fish, 10,000 of them. Not bad. That's a 1% trust mogul. Or your 10,000 to the 80,000 you need for a pure crystal. And then we have the defeat Kefka with a limit burst. Shouldn't be too hard. Lightning resistance plus 15% if you can do that, which is to mirror, I guess, the one that Maxwell gave, which was, I think, dark resistance plus 15%. So not bad. We'll see if we need that later on down the road. And then, of course, there's probably going to be the much more difficult if you're gonna go ahead and try to face roll this thing or just steamroll through it, which is the Evoke Carbuncle and Diablos one. Now, the Carbuncle one's kind of probably gonna be cool, and this is also where Mary can shine, because due to the fact that he'll be using magic on you, you can use Reflect from Mary to push the stuff back, or Carbuncle's Reflect to push his spells back at him. Now, Diablos is the one that is going to be iffy, depending if you're going to want to use the Carbuncle one. But Diablos, either way, pulling off 2 Espers during a fight can be hard. You're going to have to control the amount of damage you do while still generating enough orbs. Or you can bring somebody like, I guess, Rydia or Garnet if you need to get that complete, or that condition cleared. If you want to try a couple times, Either way, the event reward, the Great Mage's Robe, not a bad piece of gear. Defense plus 40, magic, spirit 30, MP plus 20%. I think that's a really nice piece of gear, especially for some healers, or for actually, you could use it pretty much on any mage. I personally am probably going to use it on a healer, or I'm going to put it on Mary or Minfilia or something, so that they have a higher MP pool, so they can keep casting those buffs. But overall, I think these are some pretty cool things, minus the 10,000 fish. It's whatever, I guess. If you're really looking for those pure crystals, it's going to give you a leg up, right? Now, moving on, we have I think this is good. This is really nice that we're getting this part of the event now. But I'm really excited for the next part, because we have some really cool things coming up. And that is The Story Continues. So we're getting the second half of Mysidia. Which is great. They're not breaking it up into 3 parts like they did the last continent and screwing up everybody's expectations for Odin. But we're getting some cool stuff. Not only are we getting, well, we're going to talk about that in a second, but we're getting the new Fat Chocobo shop, if I'm not mistaken, which is going to have some cool stuff in it. We're going to have the new vault will be completely accessible, if I'm not mistaken. We also get some cool little equipment sitting around that you can gather up. So this is going to be very nice. This is actually, I think the new vault should be accessible in the next one. Either way, we should be able to finish the last vault, I think. So this is cool. This is great. And then the best part of all of this is we get this big guy right here. We're getting Titan. We're getting our second tank Esper. You can also use him as a DPS Esper if you really wanted to, but I'm really excited for this guy. This is really going to help out some of the tanks. If you wanted to build them up to do a little extra damage, they're going to get about another 20 out of them, because I think his stats are maxed out at about 5,300 attack, I think, which is a good 2,000 attack higher than Golem. And of course, his elements are about the same. He will also be using Orange Magic or Orange Magicite in order to get that bonus, so you can level him up pretty quick. This is a great time to get into some of the other explorations if you're not fish farming, or you just gave up on the pure crystal. This is a great time to get into those explorations and start farming up some of the Orange Magicite. So you can get this guy to 2-star right off the bat. He does have some interesting skills. I won't say that any of them are must-haves. Really, it's kind of weird looking at them. He has some cool skills that can do some paralyzing with single target, though. He does have a couple AoE spells, if I'm not mistaken, or skills, but they do magic damage. So I guess it would be much more useful on, say, White Knight Noel. But either way, they will still be good for other tanks too. It just really depends on how you build them and how you want to use them. Or if you just want to give them an AoE attack, Cecil, he lacks anything in attacking. So if you want to give Titan to Cecil, you'll have something that you can actually do damage with him on. So this will be very, very useful. But either way, I'll probably be looking at doing some type of Esper guide at some point, so that we can figure out the best way to build some of these characters. I know some people have been asking for, let's say, an Odin guide. A lot of people missed out on doing Blade Blitz or getting Lance or getting both. I'm one of the people who missed out on Lance because I screwed up my build sets, but looking back, I can see how you could build it correctly. Anyway, so be excited. The next half of the story comes. We're going to find out what happens to White Fina. Oh, I'm sorry, not White Fina. White Witch Fina. To Dark Fina. That's her name. We're going to find out, more history on Lapis, how the 700-year war happened. I'm really excited for this. You know me, I'm a big lore fan. So, there's that. And then we have the maintenance, of course, as to when all this is going to kick off. So either way, oh, and most people should have got their community event rewards. Remember, if anytime they have something about logging onto the portal app, please do, so that you can get so we can get all that free goodness, man. Just log on, get your portal points, and crush that out. Either way, it's been fun. I'll see you guys next Tuesday for some more Lapis times, some more news about Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and yeah, Maki out.